second weekend of volleyball in the Southeastern Conference as the Oklahoma Sooners come to Nashville, eyeing their second win of the SEC slate. They take on the Vanderbilt Commodores, looking for their first win of conference play here at home. As we welcome you all inside Memorial Gymnasium. Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Gould. That's former High Point libero Lindsay Rowley. Appreciate you all joining us tonight, partner. Great to be here with you as well. Oklahoma, they split last weekend. They swept LSU in Norman. They lost a gritty 5-setter to Ole Miss. Vanderbilt, they look for their first SEC win in 45 years.
They do. You know they're happy to be back here at home, coming off a very tough road trip at Texas A&M. So they're excited to be back at Memorial.
And we're excited to showcase a lot of players tonight, plethora of talent on both sides. But first, for the Oklahoma Sooners, how about the junior middle blocker out of Lehigh, Utah, Kelly Jo Burgess, goes by KJ, doesn't matter what you call her, she's a monster.
She is. She's so dynamic. Last game, she hit 444, had 10 kills against Ole Miss. She runs a fantastic drift route. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Also, a big part of the triple block they set, so a huge factor both offensively and defensively.
442 hitting percentage, 12th best in the country. And then on the other side of things, the senior middle blocker out of Alameda, California, Jackie Moore.
Jackie Moore impresses me more and more every time I watch her play. She came from Loyola Marymount with her setter, Isabella Bareford, so they had chemistry off the jump. She hit 412, had 9 kills in their game against Texas A&M. Coach Nelson said that she's the player probably has to talk to the least from an offensive standpoint because of her high volleyball IQ.
Jackie Moore had 9 kills, hit 412 in the loss against Texas A&M. Taking a look at both head coaches. First for Oklahoma in his 3rd season at the helm, it's Aaron Mansfield. He brought them back to the dance for the first time since 2019 last year. Came over from Loyola Marymount. He coached Isabella Bareford and Jackie Moore, who we highlighted. And there is Anders Nelson. He brought the program back to Vanderbilt for the first time since 1980 in his 1st season at the helm. And he's ready for their first SEC win of the season. We are ready to get underway here. Oklahoma 9-3, 1-1 in the SEC. Vanderbilt 4-7, 0-2. Avea Mega, the freshman stellar setter, serves us away. And right away, an easy point for Oklahoma. Listen, the Sooners, they're as aggressive as a serving team as you'll get in the country.
They definitely are. Mega actually had the only 2 aces last game against Ole Miss, so not surprised to see her being aggressive off the jump.
Picking on Reese Anna-Mashan. There is Bareford, finds Cameron Chaney.
Little miscommunication there for Oklahoma.
Sliding on down, but a little bit too much mustard there was Kayla Dunlap, the freshman middle blocker, homegrown out of Nashville, so Oklahoma gets the first 2. All right, give me a couple of keys. What are you looking forward to tonight?
I mean, I think both of these teams have at some point struggled from the service line, but both of them recently have also had great service games. Oklahoma being very aggressive, a greenlit team, but hopefully both of them can stay consistent. That's the key.
Well, Reese Anna-Mashan, the sophomore outside out of Houston, Texas, from the back row there. Anders Nelson highlighted her in our Zoom call this week and said she's so close to double-digit plus performances. They like what they've seen the last couple of matches and in practice.
Yeah, Coach Nelson has said a lot of different players have really grown in the last handful of matches.
From the back row, and I'm not sure that ever made it over the tape. Jackie Moore was there all alone in the middle. Vanderbilt will take it. They tie things up at 2.
Another little miscommunication there from Oklahoma. Not something that you normally see from that group. We saw the one on a previous play as well, but a little uncharacteristic for the Sooners.
Haley Mack, she's looking for a volleyball.
Kind of need that. Yeah, a little bit.
Haley Mack, sophomore libero from Louisville, Kentucky.
One of my favorite players to watch, but I'm biased. I was a defender in college, but both of these liberos are so talented.
Short set, and Jackie Moore was ready for it. All alone on the island was Moore with the denial.
Coach Nelson just went absolutely crazy for that block. He's talked to us on the call yesterday about Jackie Moore and how she's been working really hard on her movement blocking. So no one was more excited to see that solo block than him.
Mack into the net, ties things up at 3. Listen, we're going to be talking through this match about the triple block on the Oklahoma side. You're going to break that down. But how about the single block?
Oh, man, that's even more impressive. You know, a little easier to hit around 1 than 3, but you got to give Jackie Moore all the credit in the world.
Here's Imani Bush. Listen, she was questionable coming into tonight, but the senior outside of Campbell River, British Columbia is good to go. And listen, I'll tell you what, that first serve looked pretty good.
It did, yeah. She has a great jump float here. I was a little bit distracted. At some point, we got to show you the celebration from Oklahoma for an ace. It's pretty impressive. No, but yeah, this jump float that she has, it comes at you kind of like a changeup would, I guess you could say, in baseball. Very difficult to pass.
Well, listen, it is playoff season, and Jackie Moore, that was like a double in the gap there. So she gets a block and then a bang on a couple of points. So Jackie Moore's feeling it early. Jackie Moore, as we talked about, Aaron Mansfield raved about her, said one of the best athletes he has ever coached, and then raved about Isabella Barefoot. He's really close with Isabella and her entire family as that one goes down for Alexis Shelton, the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Her 17 kills led the team, hit 227 with 4 blocks. But listen, Aaron Mansfield, he tried to get Jackie Moore coming over from Loyola. When he came over, he tried to get Isabella Barefoot, but of course, Anders Nelson won that recruiting battle.
Yeah, Coach Nelson said it was really fun to have them lead the scouting report against Oklahoma this week. He said their eyes lit up when he asked them to do so.
Here is Cameron Chaney, junior outside out of Park Forest, Illinois. Her 21 aces are second best in the Southeastern Conference. And if you have a radar gun at home, you might be able to clock this serve. Over here on the left side, Reese Hannah-Machon, a little bit too wide of the mark. Reed gives Oklahoma the lead.
Both coaches calling for net. I don't think anybody truly knows who was in it, but both coaches agree.
Someone was
Hey, they're going to let it go. They're going to let it go.
And maybe it's one of those situations there, up ref, down ref. If you see 2 players into that, it's hard to call it. You just let the play move on. Fabulous freshman Takoa Barnes out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Short route to Moore.
Nice dig by Haley Mack.
Listen, you raved about Haley Mack. Moore gets the kill, but Haley Mack keeps that play alive.
Yeah, that play happens because of the big dig by Haley Mack. And not only a dig, but a dig that puts her setter in a position to run an offense.
Well, Jackie Moore's feeling it early. 2 big kills and a block so far through the first 12 points. And that, folks, is the announcer's jinx.
Hey, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a miss that Coach Nelson is okay with. We talked to him yesterday on the call about miss serve, serving aggressively, and how far he wants it above the tape. That was relatively low to the tape, and only missed, I would say, by less than a foot and a half, something you're still tempting a defender to take.
The lethal lefty is met. That wasn't a triple block, but 2 on the left side of the block combined there. That was Imani Bush and Kennedy Patterson. Both of those players, Lindsay, were questionable coming into tonight.
Let's take a look. Look at Imani Bush, the way that she presses over, nowhere to go around that block.
Barefoot had to go get it.
Nice set.
Into the net on the swing there was Bush, so a freebie for Vandy. Checking into serve here is Ellie Kinney, Jr. She's a Tennessee native from Chattanooga. She gives them a ton of help defensively. Really good defender for Anders Nelson's team. Long route, and how about the dig? Joust at the net, wow. And how about Barefoot? We play on.
What a battle.
From the back row.
Look out.
Off the chest. Oklahoma staying in it, though, defensively here, Lindsay. And then barefoot pushes one over.
What a rally.
Oklahoma
Best
recovers.
rally of the set so far.
Pancake and Cheney gets it to go.
Cameron Cheney with the mix-up from the back row. This was an incredible rally from both sides, battling it out at the net and defensively. I love this choice by Cheney, too. Just, I'm going to mix it up here. Because everybody's back on their heels waiting for that big swing from her. So, very smart.
And not even the fantastic Frega could keep it alive.
Oh, yeah.
That swing with authority there by Camille Gibson, the redshirt sophomore out of Crossroads, Texas, had 6 kills, 4 blocks last match in the 5-setter against Ole Miss.
Camille Gibson, she's one of those players, she's young, but you see so much potential in her. She's already so talented and plays so well now. And not only that, she's getting to learn every single day in practice from great pin players like Shelton and Bush. So by the time she does become an upperclassman, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
With Barnes as well, they have 2 underclassmen that can really swing it. Center dump to perfection there by Barefoot.
Barefoot sees the court so well. She already has great timing with all of her hitters. You can always tell they're almost always on the same page, but also being able to read another team and know when it's time to do that setter dump or go in for an attack.
How about the give and go there, Lindsay? I want you to talk about that reception by Bush. Gets it right to her setter, right back to her.
Sometimes that is actually better for an outside hitter because you're in a rhythm with the ball. So as you pass it, you kind of swing out. You'll notice an outside hitter do that. So it sometimes helps them to actually be more in rhythm to take that first touch. What a serve.
Well, we talked about the velocity from Cheney on one side. How about the velo there from Gibson?
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Oklahoma, they are a green light serving team. Now, sometimes that means that your team is going to have a lot of errors, and you have to be okay with that, you know, which Coach Mansfield is. But this is another one of those servers that Coach is like, just go get it, kid.
Barefoot once more, and nobody was there to meet her for Oklahoma. I'm a little surprised nobody went up with her.
No, not at all. I think maybe, you know, sometimes you forget the setter's front row, maybe a miscommunication. Normally you'll hear on the court saying, hey, set her up, set her down, whatever it may be, wherever they are on the court. Thought maybe we would get a challenge out of Coach Mansfield there. He was talking to the ref, but he didn't like something. What a run!
Barefoot is dialed in right now. Just an easy
Let's take a look back at
the,
as you said, dialed in. She gets up here on the block, and as she went up for that, I heard Coach Nelson say, get over, Jack. And then she gets up, and she's got no block because she just did all the work to get outside, and she runs that quick hit up the middle. Really impressive.
What a dig by Mack. And on the one time is Barnes.
Yeah, that's one of those, you can't give Barnes any kind of opportunity like that right there at the net with an overpass. It was a great initial dig by Haley Mack, but unfortunately Barnes able to put it away, or fortunately for Barnes.
Pendulum keeps on swinging back and forth. The momentum here in this first set. Oklahoma leads by 1. Cheney, a little wide of the mark. What'd you see on that swing there?
I think she got it a little behind it. She was in rhythm. I thought she, I mean, it's so tough to say anything. I don't want to say negative about Cameron Cheney because she does have such an incredible swing and her dynamic and her footwork is so good. But you know, sometimes she could have been trying to go off of high hands. She could have been trying to go off the block and just missed barely. There's that triple block. Cheney gets past it.
More again.
Jackie Moore. You know, Coach Nelson talked to us specifically about Jackie Moore's blocking. The last game I covered for Vanderbilt, Coach said, hey, I'd like to see all of our blockers get a little bit better. When we talked to him yesterday, he said even during the A&M game, maybe they were getting out-blocked, but he told Jackie Moore, keep doing the movements you're doing. You're doing all the right things. The blocks will come, and they're coming tonight.
And listen, she knows the offensive sets that Erin Mansfield ran at Loyola, right? And so that has given her such an advantage.
Yeah.
As Cheney ties things up at 13. But it really has, right? And that is why you mentioned earlier, that is why Anders Nelson let him and Isabella Bareford lead the scout in practice this week.
You know this is one they want a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, they both love their former coach, as does Erin Mansfield. They have such a great relationship. But on the floor tonight,
they're enemies. Wow, great defense. Free ball opportunity for Oklahoma here. So another block there by Jackie Moore closing to the outside.
How about that pass by Alexis Shelton? Listen, she's top 10 in Oklahoma history in kills, but you see that setup.
Let's take a look at this. Jackie Moore barely gets over there, but able to close a little bit, and a beautiful set by Shelton to the outside. She knows the game so well. She's one of my favorite players that I've watched. So much fun. Definitely a candidate potentially for Player of the Year.
Here is Whitney Wallace, sophomore out of Los Gatos, California. From the back roll.
I think that's the second ball that Oklahoma has had to take off the shoulder from an attack from Vanderbilt. They're going for it tonight.
And I think both of them were off of Mega.
They may have, but hey, the ball's up. Doesn't matter how you got it up, ball's up.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of bruises at the end of this match, especially after that serve by Cheney. Who wants 15 first? Oklahoma does. And it goes the way of the senior out of Oakdale, California, and Kennedy Patterson. Oklahoma first at 15. You got to be the first at 25. They lead by 1 here in the first. 15-14 first set. 3-block party for Oklahoma all season long. Lindsay, why don't you explain what the triple block is?
We kind of referenced it earlier. We saw them go up for one. Cheney was able to get around it. But Oklahoma, one of the better teams that is able to consistently close that triple block. It's not an easy thing to execute, but when it's done correctly, it's something more teams are trying to execute consistently, and Oklahoma is one of those teams that's at the top of the list.
If you're Vanderbilt, how do you beat the triple block?
Hit around it if you can. Also, we've seen that. I know that's easier said than done. If I said that to them, they'd roll their eyes. No, but I think tooling off the block is a good thing to have in your back pocket. Also, we've seen them mix up some different shots, off-speed shots, tips. Those are key as well.
Free ball, like an overhead smash in tennis, goes Alexis Shelton. That'll be the easiest point for her of the night.
Yeah, you can't give someone like Shelton those opportunities. She's going to be able to convert every time.
10th all-time in kills, Lindsay. 1,250 coming into tonight for the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. First team All-SEC last year.
She's really fun to watch with her team, too. You can tell she has a lot of fun playing the game and really enjoys her teammates. Nice serve. Dakoa Barnes with this top spin serve, and you can see it's great if you can hit a seam like that to be able to kind of catch passers off guard, and that's exactly, I mean, she couldn't have placed that ball any better, not to mention the velocity it's coming at and that top spin that just makes it drop so quickly.
All right, so this is the largest lead of this first set on either side. Oklahoma leads 17-14, of course, trying to be the first to 25, win by 2. What have you liked from the Sooners so far in this first set?
Honestly, I've liked both sides. This has been a really tight match. Having watched several of both of the games from both of these teams, I would say this is probably, especially early, the best I've seen Vanderbilt play. Obviously, they've let off the gas a little bit here recently, but as you said, this is the biggest lead we've seen, and it's only 3 points. I think it's going to come down to defense and serve receive. We just saw the ace from Oklahoma, and obviously Vanderbilt very confident in their passers from both a defensive and serve receive standpoint. So I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Nelson right now is in the huddle saying, hey, we just need one pass. Run our offense, give Isabella something to get our offense going here.
And you know what? Aces, we talk about this a lot in this sport.
Yeah.
Doesn't tell the full picture of the service game, right? Because you try to serve them out of system. But right now, Oklahoma leads by 3.
Yes.
And, well, they have 3 aces, and Vanderbilt does not have
They
any,
don't always keep, they don't keep the stat for how many serves you got them out of system.
Right.
Because
and how many serves are ripping someone in the chest or the arm and pushing you out of system?
Yeah,
like
how
we've seen all
talented
night.
these serve receivers are. It's difficult to get an ace at this level.
Takoa Barnes coming off of that ace. Oklahoma leads by 3. Wow, what a reception there by Mack. Mack, Bareford, Anna Michon. Nice dig on the back row there by Bush.
Nice dig by Haley Mack. There's
Cheney over the block.
Shot. That's the second big kill she's gotten from the back row with that off-speed shot. I like it. I like that she's mixing that up. She's got a massive swing. We've talked about it before from the front and the back row. So obviously you see Cheney coming up with that big arm. You're a little bit back on your heels. You don't always expect that tip, especially from the back row. That's difficult to execute.
And next time, Oklahoma's going to look for that, and then you blast one away, right?
You would think. You might get six-packed.
Yeah, true.
I had that happen a few times in my career. Got the lines of the volleyball on your forehead.
And Michon tried the same thing. Oklahoma was ready. Did it touch Cheney? I think it did. It just
She
got
tried
a
to
piece
play
of
it
her.
off. Yeah, she kind of like went to pass and then pulled back last minute. But yeah, I think they caught her.
That's where you say, check my jersey. What are you talking
Yeah, I know.
about? There's no ball mark.
Exactly.
Cheney off
There's
the
that
tape.
swing away you were talking about. And that caught the tape and still was moving. If that wouldn't have caught the tape, that would have been.
But listen, I
Tough attack to return.
learned from you. You know what I mean? You've taught me a lot, you know? So you can anticipate and say, hey, you know, and listen, if you could aim for the tape every single time,
That would
both
be
on your
nice.
serve and on your
Yeah.
swing, you'd swing about 900.
Oh, gosh.
The dig kill goes!
Goodness.
Oh, my. Dug out of the dirt. The Mack attack is out and about.
If you look at her teammates afterwards, rush to her because this doesn't happen very often. First of all, great dig, but also to get the dig and you could say the kill on the other side. Sometimes all it is, get it in the air. We used to say that all the time. Hey, just get the ball up. After that, let's see what happens.
Can you believe we get paid to watch these women play this?
This is a great match. Yeah, so far. Great first set. If this is the way we're going to be here all night. If this is the way it's going to go, the back and forth, both of these teams playing so well, both offensively and defensively.
And I'll tell you what, you talked about Vanderbilt earlier. This really is one of the best sets we've seen, not just SEC Slate first SEC 3 game.
Yes.
Literally all season. And the reason we talk about this because Oklahoma's block, talked about the triple block, but their block in general over the last 2 weeks has been unconscious. They only have one block tonight, and Vanderbilt's out swinging the Sooners 276 to 192.
And not only that, but Oklahoma has such a balanced offense that I like to say that the power of the pins, they have pin hitters that can, sometimes you'll see Shelton hit from the right side and then switch and go hit from the left side when and that's such a luxury to be able to have that because maybe you've got a Cheney, a big outside hitter for Vanderbilt, and they want to have Shelton blocking her, and she can swing from the right side and be very, very effective, although in theory, you're going to get most of your balls to your outside hitter, so you would like to have a Shelton out there, but they can really move all of their outsides around. Amani Bush is the same way. You'll see her hit from the right side as well. So it says a lot about Vanderbilt that they're able right now to limit an offense like Oklahoma.
And that point was all out of whack.
Another miscommunication. We saw it a little bit early in this set, and that's very uncharacteristic for Oklahoma.
So Vanderbilt, who trailed by 3, they tie things up at 18. They're hungry. They want to win their first SEC set. Denied!
The reaction from the bench from Coach Nelson on that block. I love it. She turns around, the no, no, no. I love it. Let's take one quick look at this. Beautiful textbook. Presses all the way over. Look at that. No, no, no. You ain't getting over.
Kayla Dunlap, the freshman out of Nashville. Another wonderful dig by Mack. She is working hard. They want this first set.
No, block for Oklahoma. Wow. Love the scrappy play.
Another denial. Ping-ponged around.
We're still going.
I think
Vanderbilt wants
wants a lift, and instead
it doesn't matter.
It sets up the smash.
Let's take a look at the way that rally ended, because both teams scrapping to try and earn this point. Gotta love it. Vanderbilt gets an opportunity. Dunlap puts it away.
They wanted to lift there on Patterson, who ping-ponged it around and kept it alive. Vanderbilt first to 20, trying to be the first to 25, win by 2. Vanderbilt's getting touches on everything, but that was tooled off the block nicely there by Bush to get the Sooners back within 1.
Back and forth we go, Alex. This has been tight. Really fun to watch. You gotta love, you know, it may not always be pretty, but both teams doing everything to keep the ball alive.
But this encapsulates, this is SEC volleyball. This is what
yeah.
it is, right? Every single point, you'd think we're in the 5th set right now.
Yeah, it's
only set 1. Set 1. Bearford tried the setter dump, and Burgess with the block. She was ready for it.
She was. We talked about Burgess in the open. Such a talented player, both offensively and defensively. Reads plays really well, and I mean, almost a textbook blocker.
So Oklahoma ties things up at 20. Back row, Cheney. And not even the magnificent Cindy Thompson, senior libero, could dig it out of the dirt.
We've seen Cheney mix it up from the back row. She's done a great job. I love that Isabella Bearford is using her from the back row as well. It gives her 4 options offensively, and now we see Cheney move to the front row, which is a completely different dynamic.
Off the block, and I believe that is the first kill. No, that's the second kill for Burgess. Of course, after that spectacular block. So KJ Burgess Jr. out of Lehigh, Utah, who we highlighted, 2nd in the SEC in hit percentage, 12th in the country in that category.
We talked about it. She's great at quick balls up the middle, but also does a good job of running that drift route or flare.
Line judge put the flag down, which means he thought it was good. And Anders Nelson, are they going to challenge? He is.
Where he's standing, watching the game, is almost right on that service line. And I don't see Coach throw in the challenge flag in set 1 with a set going like this, where we could easily go to 5 if every set is anything like this, unless he's pretty confident.
Vanderbilt is challenging that the ball was out.
This is a crucial point, too.
Yes.
Because, listen, if the call stands, it was called in on the serve,
yes,
that it clipped the line. Call stands, Oklahoma's up 1, 22-21. They're 3 points away. If it does get reversed, Vanderbilt's up 22-21. The score flips.
Now, I don't think this is why Coach Nelson did it. I stand by what I said. I think he's pretty confident that the ball was out. But also, if he loses this, you're icing the server. So it's kind of a win-win. From that angle, it looks out. I don't think it catches the back line. Here's a little bit better angle. Ooh, wow. That's tough. That might have caught the back line. Yeah, man. I think it might have. I see a little bit of white there. Here's, see, from that angle.
My question to you
From that angle, I think it's out. It's funny, the angle before, I thought it caught the line. That one, I think it's out.
Is there enough in your mind definitively to overturn this call? That's the question.
Because that's what it's got to be, yeah.
And they're seeing it here inside Memorial Gymnasium, and I think even fans are unsure.
Let's take a look. We got a bunch of different looks here. This is going to give us a little bit. We'll be able to see right down that line.
Top left.
That's out. That's out. Yeah, wow. Top left. That's out. Yep, good call by Coach. It was honestly closer. The way Coach Nelson reacted made me think it was out by more, because he seemed so confident. It was closer than I thought, but I do think that this is going to get overturned.
Would you like to be a line judge?
No,
they don't
I
get
don't
paid
want
enough.
to be a referee of any kind.
Court is reversed. The ball was out. Vanderbilt retains their challenge.
There you go. Good challenge by Coach Nelson, and like you said, that is a pivotal point.
You know, listen, 99.99% of the time, we give the love to the players as the coaches would want.
Right.
That is Anders Nelson right there, being
Yeah.
right on that line.
He's standing.
He saw it perfectly.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing that on purpose to look and see if,
Right.
if balls are in or out
Yeah,
from that back line.
Especially
but
on the serve.
He's standing right on that line. He's got a good view of it.
So Nathan Wagner, he's the down ref today, overturned that call. Suzanne Lowry, the up ref. Alicia Francois and Benjamin Carroll, the line judges waving the flags. 22-21, crucial overturned call there. Barnes met by the block.
Good
Sooners,
defense on both sides.
yeah, I was going to say, they're getting better touches as well. And I think touching the net that time was a player for Oklahoma. So Vanderbilt gets a freebie there. It's 23-21. They lead by 2. And Aaron Mansfield has to use his final timeout of the first set.
Let's take a look at that net call that we just saw called on Oklahoma. There you see Jacoa Barnes,
She knew it right away.
Yeah, she did. She turned around, she knew right away. But prior to that, seen a lot of good defensive plays by both teams. Haley Mack had a monstrous dig that gave Isabella Bareford that opportunity to truly run her offense. You know, if you got a tough ball coming over, you just hope, hey, let's put it up where maybe we have 2 options. And she put that right on the money. Gave Bareford, 3, and if you're using the back road, 4.
Taking a look at some of the numbers real quick. Vanderbilt out-hitting Oklahoma 265 to 143, 17 digs for the Doors, 13 for the Sooners, 3 blocks for Vanderbilt, 2 blocks for Oklahoma. They're out-blocking one of the better blocking teams the last 2 to 3 weeks in the conference.
Yeah.
That's a big deal right now for Anders Nelson and company.
It is. Coach Nelson told us yesterday on the call he was so happy with the way that practice went this week, which can go a very long way, especially when something that you're working on consistently is blocks. He said that they run a drill that's called 6 hands, where you're working on not only a triple block, but from an offensive standpoint, hitting around a triple block. So, you know, a great week of practice when you're succeeding and things that you've been working on can go a long way with a team, especially from a confidence standpoint.
See who Mack picks on with this serve here. A big one, 23-21, 2 points away from a first set win. Picking on her counterpart over there. We were talking about the blocking, getting touches on every swing.
Wow.
Joust between Cheney and Burgess. Cheney pulls one off the block down the line.
That's what we were talking about, against a triple block. You know, if you can't hit around it, try and use it. And that's what she does here. Take a look. Little joust there at the net. She gets back, can get her full approach. Triple block. They're in timing. Great job, honestly, by Oklahoma closing that block. But Cheney does a better job using it.
Vanderbilt was looking for their first SEC set on that serve by Mack. Just missed deep. So that gives Oklahoma a freebie. It's 24-22. But the Doors, the crowd here inside Memorial, all on their feet.
Probably not the person you want to see at the service line either. For Oklahoma, Bush leads the Sooners with aces with 18. So we'll see how Vanderbilt handles it.
Cheney down the line, and she just missed it.
Yeah.
And now Anders Nelson smartly going to use his final timeout as Oklahoma's back within 1.
Smart move by Coach Nelson here. I think especially when you're going up against such a difficult server like Bush, maybe you're icing her a little bit, make her think about it, because it is set point here if she misses it. But also, I mean, Oklahoma's got to be happy having arguably their strongest server at the line.
Yeah, she leads the team in aces with 18, and, you know, she can do anything she wants with the volleyball behind the service line. Couple of questions.
Shoot.
Who do you think she picks on here on this serve? And if you can set it up, who do you go to here if you're Bareford for Vanderbilt?
You know, if you would have asked me this, the play before,
yeah.
I would have said Cheney, but that's who they just went to, but she barely missed.
Right.
And, you know, Cheney is so competitive, I would not be surprised if she's going to Isabella Bareford. She's like, give me that ball back. But, you know, I think right now, I don't want to say forget about the offense. The most important thing is one pass. Get a pass, put the ball in Isabella Bareford's hands. She's going to be smart, and she's going to make the right decision. This is about a first pass, first touch.
The reception is crucial here for the Doors. They know it. Anders Nelson used that timeout because he wanted to set it up.
And they're so confident in their serve receive, too. Vanderbilt is. You know, as far as numbers go, they have some of the best in the SEC. Serve receive normally is not an issue for Vanderbilt.
Well, here we go. 24-23. Vanderbilt can still win the first set right here, but the best server for Oklahoma, Imani Bush, serves out of the timeout. Right back to Cheney. She was met by the block.
Good coverage.
Cheney just popped one over.
It's a beautiful spot.
Doors can still win it. And they
Wow,
do!
Cheney.
Cameron Cheney again.
Finishes set one. What'd I say? You think she went to Bareford and was like, give me that ball?
The first SEC set win since 1980, thanks to Cameron Cheney's rip on the other side of the net. Cameron Cheney with authority to end that first set. She was dominant, had 7 kills in the first.
She was, and not only from the front row, from the back row as well. She ends the first set, no surprise, you go to your big dog, but also I love that she's mixing up her shots from the back row with that. She's had some tips, some off speeds. It goes to show her volleyball IQ. You know, as an outside hitter, you know you're going to get a lot of attempts. She had 16 in set one. That is a lot of attempts for just a set. And to be able to hit over 300, it's very impressive.
Cheney had a total of 11 kills in the loss against Texas A&M.
She's over halfway there.
She's on pace for 21 through 3.
Yeah, I do wonder, maybe that's something they worked more on this week, is using her from the back row as far as off-speed shots and just in general, because that is the most in a set I have seen Bareford use her from the back row. Yeah. But I mean, it's working. Don't, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And on the other side, for Oklahoma, listen, they lost 25-23. They were right there.
Oh, yeah.
And Lindsay, they only hit 128.
Yeah, that's
so if they pick that up, they're right there in this match. So
definitely.
What do you think Aaron Mansfield was talking about with the team?
Honestly, I don't think you're going to see a lot of adjustments. I think Oklahoma needs to be Oklahoma. They run a very consistent, balanced offense. They have great pin players. We've talked about Burgess in the middle. They are, a lot of times we saw them closing that triple block, and honestly, Vanderbilt just did a good job of using it, the tool, hitting around it, mixing in shots. So, you know, I would say keep doing what you're doing.
Reese Anna-Machon to serve us away here in set number 2. She had 2 kills in that first, and how about an ace? Right out of the gate.
You know that feels good for her. Yeah. Against Texas A&M, she had 4 service errors, which is very uncharacteristic for her. And, you know, you have an off day. It is what it is. Yeah. And so today from the service line, she looks very solid. Free ball opportunity.
The blockers once again getting touches on everything. Oklahoma as well. And how about that?
Yeah.
All alone on the island was Burgess, and I'll tell you what, Aaron Mansfield says that's where she thrives under pressure.
Yeah, and excuse me, I said Cheney, but Reese Anna-Machon from the back row, and you know, we've seen Vanderbilt be able to capitalize from the back row, but not that time. Burgess does a great job. Nice block, great coverage. Wow.
What a get by Kinney. And Oklahoma gets their second point of this second set. Great get by Kinney. Better job by the Sooners to stay in it.
Definitely. And then at the end of that first set, we also saw great coverage. If you're going up against a big block like Oklahoma, you really have to count on, you know, I'm going to get blocked. Hopefully my defenders are covering me, and they're going to help me pick that up.
A blast there by Dunlap. Was there a touch? There was not. So Oklahoma, after losing that first point on the ace by Anna Machon, they rattle off 3 straight.
With, no surprise, their strongest server at the line.
Bush transferred in from Washington, where she was a Big Ten second teamer. Oklahoma saying they never touched it. That ball never got over the tape, so it's too many hits there for Vanderbilt, and Oklahoma with 4 straight.
Sooners coming out strong here in the second set. You know that they weren't happy with the way set 1 went.
Yeah.
Played well enough to win, but Vanderbilt stepped up in the end. So definitely coming up very strong here in the second set.
And that's an ace right on the line there for Bush. We talked about it in set number 1.
Did you see her face there? Yeah. She gave that little bit of, ooh, it's a little too close for comfort. But hey, you know, if you get close to that back line, you're going to be tempting serve receive to take it. And that time it landed in.
That was her second ace of the night. Mack had to trickle back to get it.
Big opportunity for Oklahoma here.
Trying to steal another one.
See Shelton swinging from the right here.
What a get by Fraga. And that one clipped the line as well for Barnes. So Vanderbilt wins the first point on the ace, and then 6 straight for Oklahoma, and Anders Nelson is going to challenge here.
Every Vanderbilt player looked at Coach Nelson and told him it was out. They were very confident. They all whipped around and said that ball is way out.
Well, Anders Nelson had the crucial challenge. He had the crucial challenge in the first set that really flipped the set back in their favor. It would have been 22-21 Oklahoma.
That was big, yeah.
Instead, that serve just missed the white part of the line, and it gave Vanderbilt a 1-point advantage. They wound up winning, of course, by 2, 25-23, so we'll wait and see here.
I mean, that's not as a different situation, whereas we're not at the end of the set, but still a very crucial point.
Point to Vanderbilt, they retain their challenge.
As I said, a crucial point because, you know, Oklahoma going on this run, and the more and more you give opportunities from the service line, the more comfortable they get, the more difficult the serves get. So it was important for Vanderbilt to break that streak there.
And listen, Anders Nelson was not frustrated that the call was overturned in his favor. He was frustrated because he had to use a challenge.
Exactly. Hey, he gets it back.
Boy, that was like an alley-oop.
It really
was a slam
was.
dunk there by Shelton.
The hang time that she has is amazing. So athletic. Let's take a look at that. I mean, you can almost count the seconds. The way, I think that to her, the timing was even a little bit off. I don't know if she was necessarily planning on doing that, but she has that hang time. Gives her a few options.
That serve is way past the line there. But you're talking about the hang time from Shelton. Lindsay, she comes from a track family.
That's right.
Her mom,
both her parents, yeah.
Her mom, Angel, ran track at Clemson. Dad, Brandon, ran at Southern Illinois. But instead of the high jump, she, of course, said she wants to jump out of the gym.
Well played, sir.
You could see it there. Bareford serving here. Vanderbilt trying to climb back in it early in this second set. They lead 1-0. And boy, that was a bazooka off the right arm of Kennedy Patterson. She has so much length at 6'5".
She does. Let's take a look at this. And great timing. Beautiful set. A little bit of a 3-ball quick, not quite all the way to the outside. Pushes her over a little bit. That's a difficult ball to block, clearly. Vanderbilt wasn't able to get anybody out.
It's amazing how high Barnes throws that ball up.
The timing that you have to have.
The timing,
yeah.
right? And obviously the timing was slightly off there, right? But it's such a tough serve to teach anybody.
It is, yeah. And that's what makes her a green light server. You're going to get those errors, just like Cheney. Yeah,
there it is.
I know. When you give those type of servers the green light to get after it, you have to know that there's gonna be aces, but there's gonna be errors too.
But and head coaches all over the country, you talk to them all the time. I talk to them all the time. They're okay with that, right?
Yeah.
If you can get 2 aces behind the service
Within
line and
reason.
then an error, right? Within reason, sure, sure. Of course, if you miss 5 times in a row,
Yeah,
you know, then you say,
right.
okay, we got to change something up here for
Yeah.
sure. But they'll take 2 aces with a miss any day of the year. And the kill goes. That was Jackie Moore in the middle. Moore had 2 kills early, and then Bareford didn't feed her as much towards the end of that second set, but that's her 4th kill of the night. And listen, she's hitting .571.
Kayla Dunlap also stepped up there
Right.
at the end of that first set big. I spot blocking
Yeah.
as well.
There is Maya Witherspoon, freshman out of Wildwood, Missouri. She is their serving specialist. And Vanderbilt, you know, Anders Nelson was talking with us on the Zoom call, and he said good things happen when Maya Witherspoon serves. And he said serving specialist, this was his quote, a serving specialist he thinks is the hardest position in all of volleyball.
I loved hearing that because
Yeah.
that's what I did my freshman, sophomore year of college. So I was like, wow, thanks, coach. It makes me feel better because it is difficult. You're cold, you're coming off the bench, you're expecting to serve difficultly and put the team in a bad position. And you also, he kind of joked, he goes, because you can be sitting there on the bench, you know, doing the math like, oh man, I'm gonna have to serve when the game's on the line or whatever it is. So from that mental standpoint, especially a freshman, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pinch hitter in softball or baseball, right? Where you're cold and you may have to come in 7th inning, 9th inning, whatever it is.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, and here you go with Sydney Thompson. Oh, how about that Burgess block again? That thing was blocked back to Norman.
Let's take a look at this. Deserves another look. Oh, she doesn't get faked out. You see that right side block goes over a little bit because she gets faked? Not Burgess. She's got that volleyball IQ. She reads the game so well.
Burgess averaging over a block per set at 1.17 to be exact. And believe it or not, that doesn't put her in the top 10 in the conference. She's 11th in that category. And Oklahoma leads by 5, 11-6. And they just feed off of Burgess. That is what Aaron Mansfield told us this week. He said they just feed off of her. When she gets a big stuff like that, that's when
the
our offense
reaction from her
starts going.
teammates, everybody's jacked up.
Anna Machon tried to push one to the back corner. She's asking for a touch.
She wants a touch
Doesn't
off the
get
block.
the call.
Let's see if we see a, oh yeah, Coach Nelson's gonna challenge it.
Well, he's a perfect 2 for 2 tonight.
He is. Let's take a look at it and see. I think they want to touch off the block. I'm guessing that outside hand of Camille Gibson is what they think.
I think maybe the middle finger.
The middle,
on that left hand.
Vanderbilt was challenging with
Oh,
the
yeah.
back touch.
I think, yeah, you're right. That left hand off Camille Gibson is what Anna Machon was telling Coach Nelson.
How about our camera crew, huh?
They're doing a great job. Good job, guys. Good job, Truck. Getting us all those views.
Alan on replay, too. Good stuff. Listen, again, is there... The question, Well, the question is there enough
Here, let's take one more
definitive
look. Alan's got another look. Let's take a look
overturned.
here. Let me see. You see her finger? Yeah, you see that finger move. Look at it. It goes back.
Wow.
Yep, that's a touch. Almost got away with it.
And the crowd is now seeing it as well.
Yeah, now look at the crowd is seeing that. And
I love it, too, that they're now showing replays.
Yes.
Inside
I wish they
arenas.
had challenges. I'm aging myself, but they didn't have challenges when I played college ball. And I really wish they did. They didn't have them when I was an assistant coach either. I was a fiery assistant coach.
Would you have had a lot of calls overturned?
Yeah, I almost got a lot of the cards, the warnings.
After review, the call is reversed. Point to Vanderbilt. They retain their challenge.
All right, 3 for 3.
So you'd rather have the challenge cards than the warning cards?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, then I could have challenged it instead of argued with it. And
You just, or if you're Anders Nelson, you just put up the seat.
yeah, my mom was my boss
Doesn't even
too.
need the card.
I knew the look. I grew up getting the look, so I knew when I was arguing too much.
You know that look. Well, Anders Nelson, he's just going to keep on challenging. He's a
I
perfect
know, why
3 for 3
not?
today. And good call there by Reese Anna Machon, because she has to say right away, hey, we got to challenge that. There was a touch. So makes it 11-7. Oklahoma still has a 4-point advantage. They've looked a lot better here, a lot more comfortable in the second set. How about that? Just the left-handed jam.
Impressive, using
off
her
the block.
left hand, yeah. Either her timing was off a little bit or she maybe misread it, but to be able to hang and use her left hand like that, really impressive by Bush.
For Bush, that's her 4th kill of the night. Just push that thing off the block with the left hand, that extension. What a dig there by Frege. And then a blast, just missed the back line by Barnes. Boy, every time Barnes swings, I'm like ducking underneath the table here.
She's got a big arm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, big arm, big swing, and she's only a freshman. I can't wait to watch her as a senior. You know she's only going to get better and better, and we mentioned it earlier in the match. She gets to learn from 2 of the best in Bush and Shelton as well.
Yeah, having that leadership from Imani Bush and Alexis Shelton, it'll just pay so much towards her junior and senior campaigns. And there's a one-timer by Dunlap in the middle. Says thank you very much, like an overhead smash in tennis. It's 12-9.
Anna Michon really stepping her game up from the service line tonight.
Yeah, she has. Sophomore outside out of Houston, Texas. She was a track superstar at St. John's High School in Houston. Chose volleyball instead. Sure, she could still run the 100 and 200 if you needed her to.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And there is the bang from Bush.
Let's take one more look at that shot. Not the prettiest serve receive, but she makes up for it with the attack.
So they say she took,
so athletic.
She took the shot and then, of course, got set up perfectly and ripped one away. Oh, so witty from Kayla Dunlap. Speaking of freshmen, right? And that's just eyes, that peripheral vision to understand nobody was there on the left side of the block.
See how big her arm is? And she goes up like she's going to hit it. And that's why Oklahoma was back on their heels. She stops her arm right at that peak and just barely tips it over.
Dunlap, who went to Centennial High School in Franklin, about 20 miles from campus.
Hometown kid.
Yeah, her grandparents played football and ran track at TSU. A couple miles from here as that serves into the net. Whitney Wallace back in. She's one of 3 Californians on this Aaron Mansfield-led squad. Of course, Aaron Mansfield, we talked about at Loyola Marymount. He played his volleyball at the University of Santa Barbara at UCSB. And he was talking about California, what the state means. Of course, UCSB, Loyola Marymount, but he said...
amazing volleyball out there.
Amazing volleyball, but he also said the people of Norman have welcomed him with open arms and just so happy at Oklahoma. And of course, listen, he brought him back to the dance last year for the first time since 2019.
Vanderbilt says no touch on the block off a Shelton swing. She has such a big swing. Man, when she gets up, you said you're taking cover, Barnes. I'm taking, when I see her swing, I'm like, goodness gracious.
I'm pretty much just
take cover.
I'm just calling this game from underneath the table. Bareford's
imagine trying to defend it.
Yeah,
Get out there.
Another block. Jackie Moore in the mix. So was Mia Sorensen, the graduate student out of Meadville, Pennsylvania. And Aaron Mansfield wants to talk it over here. So Oklahoma cedes the lead slip. They lead at 14-13, trailing 1-0 here in set number 2. And we come back on the SEC Network. A whole lot. He's over at Kennesaw State. Lindsey Walton at Texas A&M. And of course, Anders Nelson is here at Vanderbilt.
So much coaching talent coming out of that.
It's just amazing, right? And Anders Nelson has spoken so highly of his time at UK, and he's going to challenge again, so we get more time to talk about
number 4,
the coaching tree. He's trying to go a perfect 4 for 4 today, but you know, he's spoken so highly of everything he learned at the University of Kentucky, and
Vanderbilt
all of those coaches.
Challenging that the ball was out.
have talked about it as we get another challenge here. But we've asked him a couple of times, too, this year. We said, have you been able to soak it all in? And he said, not really.
No, yeah. He's like catching a moving train kind of thing, you know? And, yeah, you know what I thought was funny when he was talking to us about going on their first road trip to Texas A&M, and the atmospheres, and how apparently at Texas A&M they were all over him. He said that he said I don't hear it, but they told the team, or coaches told him after, that they were yelling that you must drive a Subaru and have cats. I don't know what that means or whatever, but he had a good little chuckle with us about that, about loving playing in those hostile environments where, you know, the student section, everybody's going crazy. And so Vanderbilt certainly is developing a great atmosphere here at home as well. Let's take a look here. Now,
boy,
they're saying with the challenge, Vanderbilt saying that ball is out. It's tough to tell from that angle. It is close. Let's take a look. I don't know. It might catch just the edge of that line, but Cheney's standing right there. So if she says it's out, she had a great view. Here we go.
After review, due to inconclusive video, the call stands. Vanderbilt loses the challenge.
Okay. As you mentioned earlier, it has to be
100%
conclusive.
And you know what? I love that from our down ref and Nathan Wagner. I love him explaining why there was no way he could overturn that call, because he didn't have see enough, right? He didn't have a look. That's a great explanation from an official. He's still going to be met with boos, but it's a great
well,
explanation.
He's at Vanderbilt. If we were at Oklahoma,
of course, they would have roared. They would have roared. Boy, that serve was going to go out, and Reese Anna-Machon played it, and it leads to a Vanderbilt point nonetheless, but she was kind of putting her hands on her head saying, my bad. So 15-14, Vanderbilt won the first set. In case you're just joining us, maybe you're just getting off work, you got some dinner with the family, putting on the match.
You're in for a good one.
Here you are. That first set was a thriller, 25-23, and how about more? One more for more.
One more for more. I like that, Alex. Yeah, you can't set her up like this. One of these overpasses, Jackie Moore, she's going to get up and snap that ball down about the 12-foot line.
I appreciate you gassing me up.
No,
Thanks.
anytime, buddy.
Jackie Moore has had quite a night. You said it. She doesn't have an error yet swinging tonight. She has been phenomenal.
If she has an error on the next play, it's your fault. You know that, right?
Listen,
I didn't say it on air.
I already had one announcer's jinx, and of course, Oklahoma fans are saying, yes, give us that error. We're waiting for it. That serve just missed deep from Cheney. She's had a really good night herself.
Now, in the front row, they had Shelton swinging from the right. It'll be interesting if they keep, they're going to keep Bush on that left side.
And how about that? Aaron Mansfield was kind of looking around to see maybe if there was kind of a lift of the volleyball.
Let's take a look at this off-speed tip. Great read, big hole in the middle there defensively for Oklahoma, able to convert.
Mia Sorensen, she had a season-high 3 blocks in the loss against Texas A&M. Her blocking ability is why she has won that spot.
Yeah.
And that's something Andres Nelson told us in the Zoom.
He said that she's just been more physical. She's been able to be more aggressive.
Right. It's anybody's set here, 17-16. Alex Gould, Lindsay Rowley, our entire SEC Network crew. Appreciate you kicking it with us, starting your weekend with us on the SEC Network. That's going to be too many that time for Vanderbilt. Oklahoma will take it. They're back up by 2. Oklahoma as a team hitting just 121, but they lead here in this second set, trying to even things up at 1 apiece.
Beautiful setup by Haley Mack.
Mack once more. Bareford long route. Anna-Machon
using that block. Oklahoma puts a block up, but I love Anna-Machon. Let's take a look at how she uses this outside hand here. Nice set off tools, that right hand of Gibson to go out of bounds and get the point.
Also, too, there's just so much cut on that swing there from Anna-Machon. She gets movement off the block. 18-17.
Another
Once again,
left.
from
Using
the
that
left
hand
hand
again.
Listen, we don't know if Imani Bush is ambidextrous, but it sure
It
looks
sure
like
looks like it. I'm thinking if I'm a defender and I'm playing for Vanderbilt, I'm looking at her right arm.
Sure.
And so, especially if you're blocking, the timing might be off. If she goes up and if that's on purpose, I assume it is.
Yeah.
With the talent that she has, I assume that's not just a mistiming or something like that. So, really difficult to read if you're defending.
She's even bringing her right arm up,
She
deking,
is.
right? You're deking
Right.
so much in this sport anyway, but like she's going to swing with the right and then just
Right.
pushes it with the left. That's another freebie for Oklahoma, another aggressive serve. They're the first to 20, and Anders Nelson has to take a timeout here. He senses this set slipping away.
Smart timeout, I think, by Coach Nelson, especially with it getting to 20, being down 3. Hey, let's take a timeout, try and shift momentum, do a little reset with our group, tell the girls, hey, we're good. One good pass, let's run one good play, and hey, we're within 2.
And on the other side, for Oklahoma, I think you
Don't
gotta
let off the gas.
Yeah, and I think you got to like what you're seeing the last 5 or 6 points here if you're Aaron
Yes.
Mansfield and company.
For sure. And, they got off to that strong start that, aside from the challenge, would have been 6-1, but then it ended up being 5-2. So they get off to that strong run to start this set, and then Vanderbilt comes and battles back. So I'm sure he's also saying to the team, let's not repeat that. Let's get back to the service line, defend well, and capitalize and be able to close this set up and tie up this match.
Taking a look at some of the numbers here. Bush leads the way in terms of kills for Oklahoma with 6, Gibson with 3, Barnes with 3, Shelton with 3, Patterson with 3, Burgess has 2, and then on the other side for Vanderbilt, Cheney with 7, Moore with 6, Anna Machon with 4, Dunlap with 3. Taking a look at some of the dig numbers, Frege has 5, Frege and Mega, 5 and 4. They could start a company, by the way.
Probably.
And
It's
then-
catchy.
It is. And then Haley Mack with 10 digs, 3 blocks for Moore for Vanderbilt. Then Burgess has 3. Just getting you up to speed on some of the overall numbers.
Big point here for both teams.
Crucial. 20-17 in this second set. Vanderbilt leads 1-0. Mack with
Nice
the bump
setup.
set. Anna Machon is met.
What a block.
And there
There's that
is
triple
the
block.
triple block.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for it all night
Well
long.
executed. Let's take a look back at it. Nice job here of closing. Look, all 3 in rhythm with that swing block. When I say swing block, you see their arms go back and swing. It gives them more momentum to get more height. Well timed, well executed.
And a joust. Bareford pops it back up. Good defensive play there by the center.
Another
And there
triple.
it is again. And Oklahoma's starting to feel it on the right side of that triple block.
The timing that they're able to execute with all 3 of them to be on and press over. It's really impressive.
And you said it earlier, you try and hit around it. Obviously, you try and anticipate if you can, but when you're in the back row, it's not like you can just dink one over to the right side or left side. It's not that simple.
Hang time by Burgess there to get a hand on it.
Another free chance for the Sooners. And they are feeling it. With authority there is Bush. And
What a
Anders Nelson has to
swing.
use his final timeout.
Massive swing by Bush. Let's take a look one more time at this swing by Imani Bush. Really nice pass, puts it on target. Quick set out. That is a really quick outside set. As you can see, Vanderbilt barely able to get a half or one blocker up on it.
So
And Bush able to execute.
I mentioned earlier that Bush transferred in from Washington. She had a terrific freshman year, 166 kills there, and then she averaged a touch over 3 kills per set her sophomore year, but missed the final 7 games due to an ankle injury in 2022. Then she had shoulder surgery in 2023, and listen, in this sport, trust us, you need your shoulder to work perfectly. So she sat out all of 2023, came back with a vengeance. She roared back with 295 kills last year.
Led the team, yeah.
Yeah, led the team, and Aaron Mansfield said, oh yeah, we'd love her here in Norman, and the fans have loved her every step of the way through the first 12, now 13 matches.
Yeah, she appeared in almost every set, got second team honors in the Big Ten. She's a heck of a player.
23-17. We've seen some wild comebacks in this sport, so you never know. But Anders Nelson, of course, calling timeout, maybe ice the server and gain a little bit of momentum. But also, of course, he's trying to shore some things up going in to set number 3. Dunlap is met. That wasn't the triple block. Instead, we were just raving about her, and they could hear that block all the way back in Washington. There is Bush.
And Kayla Dunlap does such a nice job of running that slide. It's rare that I see her get blocked, and that's a testament to Amani Bush.
It's almost like Bush knew what was coming.
Yeah.
It's like she was in the huddle for Vanderbilt and anticipated that.
This is do or die for Vanderbilt. Set point for Oklahoma.
So Oklahoma, they can win it right here and even things up at 1 apiece.
Go back to Bush, no shock.
What a get by Kinney in the back row. A joust between 4 players, and Burgess wins it. And that is how set 2 comes to a close. Much better set for the Sooners. They knot things up at 1. Crucial 3rd set when we come back on the SEC Network.
Welcome back. We're tied up at a set apiece. Vanderbilt hosting Oklahoma. Lots of talk tonight of this Oklahoma triple block, and it was on display, especially in set number 2. Got off to a little bit of a slow start in set 1, but man, look at the timing. Look at the swinging arms, pressing over. They were a force to be reckoned with, especially in that 2nd set. We'll see if Vanderbilt is able to kind of regroup and find a way around that triple block. You take a look at the numbers from Oklahoma. 7 blocks. It's definitely something that gave Vanderbilt a little bit more of an issue in the 2nd set than the 1st set. So I'll be interested to see if Vanderbilt will be able to make adjustments here and hit around the block or mix in more of some off speeds. We did see Reese Anna-Michon use that triple block and be in tool a couple times, but also Oklahoma did a great job of shutting down Vanderbilt offensively.
Great cover. Thanks for covering me there. 1-0 Vandy here in this 3rd set. Alex Gould, Lindsay Rowley. She could do the play-by-play too if you did, I guarantee you. Dean McConaughey, our producer, and our entire SEC Network crew. What a match we've had through the first 2 sets.
It's fun to watch.
And listen, you never know. Somebody could win it in 4. That's what both schools are hoping for. But this just has 5-set thriller written all over it.
It does. Both of these teams neck and neck. Just especially, you think about set 2. Oklahoma goes up, Vanderbilt comes right back. It's been a very back and forth set. Both teams playing at a very high level.
Bush, who leads the way in kills with 7, also has 2 aces. Such an aggressive server, just missed that back line.
I like Ellie Kenny. She put her hands out to pass that last minute. She was like, nope. She kind of smiled when she went back to the huddle.
So remember when we were talking about it at the end of the 1st set? Vanderbilt outblocked Oklahoma 3-2, and I'll tell you what, Oklahoma's done a much better job on that block. And not just the triple block, right? Sometimes Burgess in the middle by herself. They have the double block as well, and they lead the blocking category 8-5 heading into this 3rd.
Nice dig.
Nice dig there by Reese Anna-Michon. Oh, how about Mac?
Get a hand
had to
on
punch
it
in the air. And then there it is again. That was the first time tonight, the first time they have blocked Jackie Moore all night long.
Here, let's take a look. Nice touch by Haley Mack there to be able to keep that ball alive, but Oklahoma just had Jackie Moore's number there. Shelton and Burgess, great job of closing, pressing over, textbook.
That block by Shelton was spectacular. Oklahoma, they're getting a touch on everything. And Cameron Chaney says, listen, they can touch it all they want. I'm going to go right through the block there.
I like
and Vanderbilt back up by 1.
An aggressive tip by Chaney, pushing the ball through, powering through that block, which is not easy to do.
For Chaney, that's kill number 8 for the junior out of Park Forest, Illinois. played 2 seasons at Princeton, Ivy League Player of the Year, as she misses on that serve.
I remember speaking with Coach Nelson at the beginning of the season about Cameron Chaney, and he said how impressed he's been with her because he knew she dominated in the Ivy League, but you know, you do wonder, how is she going to do at this level at the SEC, and she has more than impressed him.
Mack tried everything she could to get to that serve. Once again, if you have the radar gun out, I'm telling you folks, we have seen some serving tonight that the radar gun might not work.
Yeah, Oklahoma has some really tough servers, and that's not taking anything away from Vanderbilt servers. Of course, Cameron Chaney has a cannon on her as well, but Oklahoma definitely has some impressive green light servers.
Tool in the block was Shelton. Oklahoma leads by 2 for the first time here in this 3rd set. I never know, too, it's all so impressive to me. I never know what's more impressive, though. The serve being that strong and that hard, or somebody who can receive that with ease and just sit there and be like, yeah, anyway.
Both, yeah. For sure. Yeah, and it's different player to player. Some players, if you said, I want a really tough topspin to receive, or I want a really tough float to receive, I was always rather take a topspin than a float because floats are harder to predict. I think earlier I said off speed. I meant to say knuckleball. A knuckleball in baseball coming at you where it's just not spinning, it's shaking, and it can drop at any point. I was like, give me a topspin all day long. But and that's exactly what Barnes is doing. And, you know, some people would prefer the float.
Barnes just wants to keep on serving here. And another ace for number 3.
And that's the thing also about a big jump serve like that. You're going to get more and more comfortable with every serve. You know, the confidence and the rhythm you have in serve 1 is completely different to serve 3.
That is exactly what Anders Nelson is going to try and talk about with his team. Barnes wants to keep on serving. They lead by 4 here in the 3rd set. The fabulous freshman, Tekoa Barnes, going to serve out of the timeout once again. But we're taking a look at our players to watch. Lindsay, the players we highlighted, I'll tell you what, the middle blockers have been excellent, both defensively and offensively.
Look at those numbers, just similar numbers, just opposite. Burgess has come as advertised, especially from the block. Moore, I feel, was a little bit more successful and potent to start the match. Yeah. She's cooled off a little bit, but she's smart. I'm sure she'll make an adjustment and be right back on track.
Boy, that was a really good setup by Barefoot, and Moore just missed it wide. That was also a much better reception.
It was, yeah. It's all about that first touch. You got to give Barefoot a chance to run her offense. You can't have Oklahoma knowing where she's going because the pass was off base and camping out for that big block.
Boy, she is so dialed in right now. And the overhead smash, good get by Mack. And Anna Machon tools the block. That is all set up. Listen, let's give some love to our liberos here.
Yeah.
That's all set up because of Mack.
Because it was not a great serve reception, and it could have been put away. But Haley Mack does a good job getting that ball up, gives Barefoot an opportunity to set up Anna Machon, who uses that block. We saw another triple block, but there she's able to tool that outside hand.
Mack now with 13 digs. Anna Machon with 5 kills on the night. Here is Witherspoon, serving specialist. That was a laser pass there from Harper Hall, sophomore out of Highland Park, Texas. And, well, that's a big swing by Sorensen.
Big swing from a big wingspan, man. When she gets up and her timing is right and she's hitting that ball at its highest point, she got that left-handed swing that's harder to block.
Yeah, she's a transfer from UT San Antonio, which she played 2 seasons, and Camille Gibson is saying, listen, we can talk about Texas later. I'm from Texas, right? She's like, if you're gonna talk about it, that's fine. She's from Crossroads, Texas.
She jumps out of the gym.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy, that was something.
Yeah, you know, it's one thing to see her on film and then see her in person. I was watching her during warm-ups, and the first time I saw her like jump in timing, I was like, oh my goodness. She gets up so, I would love to know what her vertical is.
Gibson started her career at Tennessee.
Right,
so
yeah.
She was in the SEC, started her career at Tennessee, did not play there. She redshirted and then transferred, wanted more playing time, and had a really good redshirt freshman year in 2024. 227 kills in her first season in Norman.
We mentioned it earlier, her and Barnes learning from some of the best pin hitters to develop their careers as they become upperclassmen. Here she is.
Oh, wow. Once again, how about that back set? That
Yeah.
was a thing of beauty there from Hall. That was a sophomore to sophomore connection.
Let's take a look at this. See how far off the ground she gets, and she's got that big arm, hole in the block, makes them pay.
I just love Hall, right? Because we talked about you're trying to fake out the defense as much as you can, right? You're trying to deke so much in this sport. You're trying to fake anywhere you can. And Hall's whole body was towards that left side of the offensive play, and the back set is just beauty. And that's just practice and practice and practice, day in and day out.
Both of their setters running that 6-2, both of them able to run a very efficient offense. There she is again.
There she was again. I don't think that ever got over the net.
It didn't cross.
That was the same exact play from Hall to Gibson, and Gibson that time.
And I don't think Vanderbilt's block was closed either on that one, so something I'm sure that Coach Nelson is going to be speaking to them about, have more awareness of Gibson on that right side. There's that lefty. I think she's 3 for 3.
She is.
With that left hand.
That's amazing.
Let's take a look at it again. It's so impressive. It's obviously, we talked about earlier, when she first did it, we were like, what? And then, no, she's doing this on purpose. And she, like you said, she's got both arms up. And if you are someone, whether you're ambidextrous or maybe that's her, you know, the only shot with her left in her tool belt, but either way, it's definitely faking Vandy out.
And you said it earlier, a lot of times you're looking at the dominant arm, right? You're looking at that dominant hand, and that's a big kill.
You're waiting for that right arm to swing through, but the left.
And that was Kayla Dunlap, her 4th kill of the night. But yeah, you're just so used to looking, you know, sometimes body movement right, but you're also looking at the dominant hand. And she could do that with the left. It's so impressive. First time we're seeing Katie Berezowitz, freshman out of Burlington, Wisconsin. Gives them a little spark and
little opportunity. Wearing that other libero jersey, something that a lot of teams utilize, having the ability to have 2 liberos.
Pride and joy of Burlington High School for Berezowitz. Oh boy, that thing was punished, and somehow it's kept alive. And now popped in the air over there by Shelton.
Beautiful dig.
How about Berezowitz showing up and showing out? Barnes back line beauty, and also got our line judge.
Yeah. Perfect spot by Barnes too. So hard to defend this ball. Nice dig, Vanderbilt. Several nice defensive plays, but here Barnes in perfect timing hits right outside that block in the back corner.
Going back to Berezowitz, by the way, this is just her 3rd match of her young career.
Yeah, so difficult to come off the bench too. In an intense game where, you know, it's tied up and now a 1-point game, and I was watching the bench a little bit when she went in and she had those digs. They all went crazy for her. You love seeing teams rally around players.
rolled along the tape, and Shelton saying, yeah, of course I meant to do that.
Her face, that was funny. Yeah, she looked at her teammates like, yeah, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know how you defend that shot. Like, what, less than a foot off the net? Almost on that sideline.
That was beach-esque.
Yeah, it was beach-esque, yeah.
And an ace for Wallace. So Whitney Wallace, she's one of their serving specialists, really good defensive player.
And that ball, that was an interesting float serve because the serve was coming at Anna Michon, and at the last minute from our angle I saw it, and it kind of rose. Most of the time you expect it to drop, and it kind of rose up on her a little bit.
Another one for Wallace.
Serve that seam between Haley Mack and Anna Michon. Let's take a look at this ace here. It's right in that seam, which is a great spot to go for because the player's a little bit of miscommunication, so Haley Mack goes for it last minute and creates the ace.
Boy, this has got to feel good if you are Whitney Wallace right now, making her mark in a crucial SEC affair. Through the middle, nice dig on the back row there by Bush. And how about that? It sets up Shelton again. Defense transitioning to a big-time smash, and Anders Nelson has to call his final timeout of this third set.
Shelton is starting to warm up. Yeah, she's feeling it a little bit. We talked a little bit about the two setters for Oklahoma and how impressive they have been. And then when you look at the other side and you look at Vanderbilt, who's running a setter system, which is called a 5-1. If you take a look here at the graphic, like I said, Vanderbilt running a 5-1, and then you have Oklahoma running a 6-2. Now the advantage of the 5-1, you have your setter going front row, which we have seen Vanderbilt's Isabella Bareford attack from the front row, catches other teams off when she's able to do that and read the other side of the court. Now, if you, on the other side, the 6-2 allows you to get more hitters in. It also can create consistency. Say you have one setter who is very consistent with one middle and another setter who's very consistent with another middle. So it gives you that opportunity to stay with one of the setters who you have more chemistry with, but also being able to bring in more offense and use true hitters in the front row, as opposed to a setter having to go through the front row in rotations.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
That was perfect.
I try. Coach's kid.
I think
my mom would be proud.
if I went into the volleyball encyclopedia, the definition of a 6-2 and 5-1 is exactly what you just said.
Thank you. Wow. Pumping my tires, Alex.
Well, listen, you were gassing me up early. That's what we do. We're pals. Whitney Wallace, she's made her mark. Two big aces. She wants to keep on serving. Jackie Moore met by the block again, and Shelton smashes one down. Nice dig by Anna Michon in the back row. That thing was pushed a little bit too much. It was the right idea there for Sorensen, just a little bit too much mustard.
Yeah, I like that's a tough shot to execute. The deep tip, but definitely there was no one back there if she could have landed it in. See their 5-0 scoring run for Oklahoma, crucial for Vanderbilt to be able to side out, but also for Oklahoma to be able to step on the gas and take a lead here, 2-1.
And Alwyn Wallace checked in to serve. I mean, she's made a crucial difference, and Sorensen that time saying, listen, I'm not pushing anything towards the back line. I'm going to rip one away.
It's a little bit of a hole in the block there, and is able to take advantage. Being left-handed definitely helps her have that advantage from the right side.
Oklahoma, by far and away, their best hitting set. They're hitting .316. Their hitting percentage is now up to .205 as Cheney misses wide on the serve.
Yeah, that I saw as she had that toss, it was a little bit not as in front of her as she normally does, so the toss was a little bit off, which if you're jumping, doing a jump serve, and especially with that topspin and not a float, if that toss is off, it's really difficult to execute. Speaking of tosses.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just don't know how you get to that. It's amazing.
That's the
get
best
by
serve
Anna
we've
Michon.
seen out of her all night.
Yeah. And again, it doesn't lead to an ace, but it leads to the point.
Out of system, yeah.
Yeah, you just steal that point there.
Yep. Get the team out of system. If you can get an ace, that's gravy, as they say. But
yeah, well, listen, we're not too far away from Thanksgiving. You know,
I know,
we're getting
it's
closer.
true. I was born on Thanksgiving. I was, yeah. My grandma always says, your poor mom had to eat turkey in the hospital.
That's the best blessing.
Wow. That's a nice play by Anna Michon.
Really nice play there.
Yeah, you know, she touches 10-5.
Yeah.
So if you touch 10-5, you're going to have some good hang time. And we saw it there because the timing wasn't great and it wasn't as planned, but she's in the air. And because she's got that hang time and can jump so high, she's able to adjust.
So here's Witherspoon back in. Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year at Lafayette High School, 3-time All-State. Listen, she may be more of a serving specialist this year, but Anders Nelson and company, they have big plans for Witherspoon.
Yeah, bright future.
Really, really bright future.
Nice set.
Boy, wearing that off the chest was Frege. How about that? That's just great from Dunlap in the right spot.
Some scrappy play from both sides. You know, throughout this entire set, we've seen a lot of, you know, one-arm defensive plays, different things to be able to keep the ball alive.
Timeout, I believe, was just taken by Aaron Mansfield.
Doesn't want to see Vanderbilt get any closer with that 5-point lead. They'd like to close out this second set as quickly as possible, take the 2-1, but Vanderbilt, they've got other plans. I think in the last handful of points, they've looked a lot stronger. Yeah. You know, started the set out kind of chasing Oklahoma, and now not looking at the score, the play seems to be a lot more even.
So 19-14, and Aaron Mansfield takes a timeout, and they really have switched some things up offensively, Lindsay, in this third set, and it's paid off. I mean, you take a look there, 270. We were just past you know, the 300 mark, but they've just swung it a lot better as this match has progressed.
Yeah, and something to keep an eye on. We've talked about the power of the pins for Oklahoma, and Shelton, you see her there coming back on the court. She'll swing from the right, and then potentially on the next rotation, you'll see her swinging from the left side. Just such a luxury for Oklahoma to have a player like that who is so effective from the left pin and the right pin. Bush as well. Bush is effective from both sides. I think she has consistently been swinging on the left side, but Shelton, you know, they can either one, and she's going to be effective.
Well, Shelton, she has 7 kills tonight. Bush has 8. She leads the team. Cheney leads the kill department on the other side with 10. Witherspoon trying to go on a run of her own here behind the service line. Nice job by Dunlap on the block.
Nice
Anna Michon. So
That's
witty.
a great shot.
That is just witty.
This is textbook off-speed shot. And also, take a look at the spin on the ball. It's a different kind of spin that's going to make that ball drop so... See how short that ball and how sharp it is? That's because of the spin that she puts on it.
Back set and a beauty. Listen, that all started with that first ball, right? That's Frege receiving the serve perfectly, and that just sets up the whole play.
And there we see Shelton swinging from the right pin, and now she rotates to back row. We'll have Amani Bush in the front row. It looks like she's going to stay out to the left.
So Oklahoma, they're the first to 20, trying to be the first to 25 and win this crucial third set. And not if Kayla Dunlap has anything to say about it. Vanderbilt back within 4.
And that's the thing when you're getting on those runs. You know, Oklahoma got out to an early lead, held on to it to about the middle of the set. You don't want to give Vanderbilt any kind of confidence to get back in it, which is exactly what's happening.
from the back row.
Nice
Out
touch.
of nowhere came Shelton. And now tried to stop that smash from Reese Anna-Machon. Could not, and Vanderbilt back within 3.
Anna-Machon starting to warm up. We talked about Shelton for Oklahoma warming up, feeling more comfortable, and now on the other side, you're seeing Anna-Machon taking some big swings, but also we saw her take that sharp cut on the off-speed shot, being very smart.
Same exact serve there from Kinney. That's just so smooth from Bush.
Let's take a look at this swing because it's so lethal and honestly so impressive. You see she's got that block, but you see that hole, and she sees that hole and takes advantage and snaps that ball right through it. She could have come up, done the left. We've seen her with the off-speed shot, but she's such a smart player. She saw the hole in the block and is able to snap and get the kill.
Listen, you read my mind because I'm thinking the blockers for Vanderbilt are thinking maybe they're going to see the left again.
Yeah.
Right? They have to try and protect.
Since set 1, we see Chaney attacking from the back row and being, it seemed like kind of in set 2, Oklahoma had her number from the back row, you know, put up a good block for her, but there she's able to convert again from the back row.
That was just a wonderful play design all around. Vanderbilt, they've hung, right? They've hung in this 3rd set.
Yeah, that's all. That's half the battle. Just hang around.
They're trying to go on a run here, trying to knot things up at 21 if they can.
Nice dig. Just keep it alive.
The timing was way off that time.
It was. She tried to use that left-hand shot that she's been so successful with throughout this match, but unfortunately the timing just a little off.
But that's why you fight, right? Just to keep a play alive. You never know, and then Oklahoma makes a rare mistake.
And now you have Vanderbilt who's brought it within 3, and you have your biggest weapon that has now rotated to left front.
Yeah.
Of course, Cameron Chaney, who I'm speaking about.
Good get by Sorensen. How about that? Sorensen popped it back in the air, and Dunlap, I think Oklahoma thought that maybe she was going to try and joust with the blocker.
Look. Nice pickup. Able to convert, and the net play, being strong and aggressive at the net. You know, she could have gone up with an off-speed, because you know Oklahoma's going to be standing there. They're waiting. They had plenty of time to set up for the block, but I love the aggression.
And I think Burgess in Oklahoma, the rest of the Sooners were thinking, oh, maybe we'll have a joust here at the front of the net. And didn't expect Dunlap to say.
Or even an off-speed shot, not for her to go after it like that.
Say, no, we're going to punish this volleyball.
It's not like she didn't have the approach. You know, she wasn't in transition. That was just I'm going to jump up and try and hit the crap out of the ball. She did it.
Oh, listen, I mean, Vanderbilt was just down 21-17. They're on a 3-0 run here, Lindsay.
Yeah.
But right, this is how you win SEC contests.
Hang around.
This is how you win SEC contests.
You're
you're like a fly on the wall that won't go away, and that's what Vanderbilt is trying to do here in this 3rd set.
Because you know, that's what they say. You get past 20, you know, anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's about hanging around, and now it's going to be very important for both teams to be still aggressive but smart from the service line, because now here we are tied up at a set apiece. And for Oklahoma, from a mental standpoint, you know, they were up by a lot. And from Vanderbilt's standpoint, we were down. We don't want to get down again. So important to be aggressive, but also be smart.
Pivotal point here, and a crucial 3rd set on the line between the Sooners and the Doors. Reese Anna-Machon saying, listen, we're just going to build the suspense some more until I get a volleyball. She's got it in hand.
What a set.
What a set.
Holy
Indeed
cow.
there by Harper Hall, the sophomore out of Highland Park, Texas.
Making something out of a pass that wasn't perfect, and probably to go to the most difficult hitter on the floor for her to go to, and she sets a perfect ball to Gibson, who hits the ball just outside that block.
Yeah, Hall transferred in from the University of Santa Barbara, UCSB, where she averaged touch under 6 assists per set. She was in a 6-2 over there as well. Oh, how about that? Overrunning it that time was Mega, the other setter.
We talked about that. We talked about that deep shot. It is so hard to execute as far as a tip. We've seen it go out of bounds a few times throughout this match, but that one executed perfectly.
And look who's coming back in. Katie Berezowitz here, the freshman libero.
I love it.
Second time we've seen her tonight, her first ever SEC match.
First time she went in, she did a great job too.
Short route was the wrong route as of now. Burgess thought there was a touch, and this is going to be the first time we've seen Erin Mansfield challenge today. And how about this? This is a crucial call in this third set.
Burgess seemed pretty convinced, though.
Oklahoma is challenging that there's a block touch.
Yeah, Burgess seemed to be pretty adamant with Coach Mansfield.
Yeah, you could just see right away. And this is also one of those spots in a contest. I think you challenge no matter what in this spot.
Right, and sometimes coaches will do that even to use it as a timeout. Look, see that index finger of her right hand? That's what I'm looking at. Does that move? That index finger of her right hand.
And it might. It's
it looks
really
like it
close.
Bends back. Let's take a look here. That's a little bit harder, but I mean, from that angle, it looks like it goes through her hand because of how fast the ball's moving. But you know, it's because we have seen one conclusion where he said, where the referee explained there was not enough to overrule it. It just depends on the looks that they're able to get, and sometimes just a judgment call.
Listen, I talked about this a couple weeks back, but like in the NFL, for example, you have about 15 people in a room looking at the call.
Right.
This is all up to Nathan Wagner, the down referee. He's the only one who can look at this, and so he's going to look at every different angle that he can. And what did the index?
Well, the NHL, there's a war room in Toronto.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like, this is.
Yeah,
I would not want this job.
Yeah, where you have 20 different people, you know, saying different things, and then they have to come to a majority rules type of situation.
Way more looks, way more cameras, whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would not want this job.
And again, does the index finger move? Mate, it's really close, so there might have been a partial movement. Again, there has to be enough evidence, though, to definitively say that that fingertip of Jackie Moore moved and touched the ball.
Yeah, that's really difficult to say. I think it did, but I could also see this coming out as inconclusive.
Yeah, and the call on the floor was Vanderbilt point, no touch. The ball was wide of the mark. This is just building the drama here.
It really is.
In this third set.
Well, there's been drama in every set.
After review, the call is reversed. Point Oklahoma. They retain their challenge.
Must have been that I think it was that index finger that we saw move.
Yeah, so Nathan Wagner saw enough to overturn that call. Big one, and a really great challenge there from Erin Mansfield. That gives the Sooners a 2-point cushion, and they're 2 points away from taking a 2-1 lead.
What a massive point. And every time we seem to get to this point in the game, Oklahoma's strongest server is back at the service line, which they love.
It's like they've set it up that way. Oh, how about that?
I jinxed her. I'm sorry.
Into the net.
My apologies to Monty Bush. I jinxed her. See, you had an announcer's jinx. I had an announcer's jinx.
Listen, because you totally had control over what she was going to do on that serve. Vanderbilt fans, I'm sure, are thanking you, though. So 23-22, and now it's up to Isabella Bareford. She's had a great night as the quarterback, setting it all up offensively. Oh, how about that? The punishment from Shelton. The Sooners are 1 point away.
Wow, we got to look at that. Let's take a look. And not only that, she passed that ball from her knees, and she's able to transition.
Yeah, she was.
That's how athletic she is.
She was on the floor.
Yeah.
When she got that set up.
Yeah, Vanderbilt doesn't get a block up, and man, you got to get a block up on Shelton.
Here is Whitney Wallace back in, serving for the set, trying to take a 2-1 advantage on the road in the SEC. There is Cheney. Cheney on the right side. Vanderbilt back within 1.
I just saw Cheney motion to her coach. I think she might be going with a float serve here. Sometimes she will switch from a topspin serve to a float serve in different, but she did look to him to ask him which one he wanted her to do.
Let's see how aggressive she is.
That's a float serve.
And that is her version of the float, even though it still had some steam on it. Big one, Barnes. Anna Michon popped it in the air somehow.
Oklahoma wants a lift.
No lift called, we play on. 24-23, as Moore got a little piece of it. And then getting one to go was Shelton. And that is how the third set comes to a close. Ice in her veins is number 12. She's on the top 10 list for a reason. Oklahoma trying to win it in 4. Vandy trying to force a 5th when we come back. Alexis Shelton, listen, she's not just one of the best players in Oklahoma history. She's one of the best in the country.
She really is. I love watching her play. She's so athletic. She hits the easy shots. She hits the more difficult shots. She's able to swing away when she sees a hole in the block, but that one right there down the line, which is so difficult. It's an adjustment of the wrist and the way she swings. And then there, that just, I'm going to get up. I don't see any block, and I'm going to snap my wrist and swing through. She's got an amazing swing. She jumps out of the gym, so athletic, but not to mention her volleyball IQ and her smarts just make her that much stronger of a player.
I mean, her and Bush, it's just, you know, they're the 1-2 punch.
Power of the pins.
Yeah, they're the 1-2 punch on the pins. And also, by the way, too, Bush has 4 blocks as well. I mean, just what she's done defensively.
She swung majority of the first set from the left side, but the second and the third, we saw her more from the right side. And then Gibson, when she is front row, will hit from the left. But then when Bush rotates to the front, Gibson will swing right. So again, the ability to just move these pin players around and have that balance is such a luxury for Coach Mansfield.
And on the other side of things, listen, Vanderbilt was right there. They struggled in that second set, and I think they struggled out of the gate in the third. And that's kind of what cost them in that set, because in the second half of
momentum at the end,
that's what I'm saying. In the second half of that third set, they were outplaying Oklahoma, but that's what happens if you don't start out right, that run and gun. Yeah, it's too late.
Especially with rally scoring, it can get away from you real quick. You get a strong server who starts feeling it from the service line. Speaking of which, Anna Michon, very strong from the service line tonight. She's had a very impressive night so far, all around.
Yeah, and Reese Anna Michon, listen, she has the
double-double.
Yeah, she has the lone ace for Vanderbilt. But again, we talk about aces a lot. Just because you don't get an ace doesn't mean you're not serving aggressively, serving well, and serving the other team out of system. That's what Vanderbilt's been doing all night long. And, well, we're just going to keep raving about number 3 for Vanderbilt. Cameron Cheney.
Kind of an odd play the way it developed. You get, you know, Barefoot makes a dig off of, I think that was her elbow, and then a nice shot from Cheney down the line deep. Hey, whatever gets it done.
Yeah, and how about Anders Nelson? He's changing the libero here in this 4th set. So Mac, she's out there, but rocking the jersey is Ellie Kinney.
Yeah, Ellie Kenny's been very strong defensively and from a serve-receive standpoint. Of course, Haley Mack is still going to be a huge part of their serve-receive and their defense, but hey, Coach Nelson has that luxury with having strong serve receivers and defenders that he can switch up that libero jersey if he needs to.
Yeah, we've seen Aaron Mansfield do the same thing as well. Cheney was met, almost denied by Shelton, and Cheney then over Shelton. Boy, Oklahoma tried the triple block there, and Cheney said, no, none of that here on this point.
Such a testament to Vanderbilt to not give up on that play. You know, you get blocked from a massive Oklahoma block, and to stick with it, you've got the coverage, and to create something from it and ultimately win the point.
That's back-to-back for Cheney to start out set number 4. They will need her. She's got 15 tonight.
Oh, boy.
Both players were going for it.
Oh, I was getting so scared.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to get hurt.
Oh, listen, and you appreciate
I love the hustle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love the hustle, but I'm always like, oh, it's not worth it. Give up the point. Please don't get hurt. Anybody, either side. I get so that's the coach in me. I'm like,
the coach in you, but also
don't get hurt.
As a former libero.
Yeah.
And those are 2 liberos there who are so used to saying, no, I'm going to go get this ball.
For it.
What we can do.
No, yeah, you got to respect the hustle.
Oh, Cheney with the slam dunk.
Woo. What a swing. She came to play here in this set.
That is 16 kills for number 3.
Janie can definitely, and we speak about Shelton taking advantage of a hole in the block. Another player on the other side of the net who can do that, Cameron Chaney.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering about Chaney's season high, 22 kills. That was at Berkeley against Cal. So she's 6 away. Could get there tonight. They're going to keep relying on her.
Ooh, a nice set.
That was just a punch from the middle that time by Kennedy Patterson.
Put in almost an impossible position. Mega was there when she's facing the net and trying to set a quick ball, and she almost had to set it from her chin area, and still is able to put something up for her hitter to attack.
Patterson with that punch there. She transferred in from Pepperdine, another California connection for Aaron Mansfield.
Nice service
Through the
by
middle.
Haley Mack.
Great
That
reception.
ball was moving.
Yeah, and then Bareford with a
Let's
little
take a
short
look
set
at
to
this.
Moore.
From the pass from Haley Mack off of a really good serve, puts the ball perfectly for Bareford to be able to run an offense. We're seeing Moore step up. As we said, she was really hot in set one, cooled off a little bit, and now towards the end of the last set, and now we see her heating up again.
Nice job by the block on the left side for Vanderbilt. They want Shelton again, and she gets one to go. That's just the confidence in Harper Hall to say, listen, just because you denied Shelton the first time doesn't mean we're going right back to number 12.
Yeah, and honestly, that a player like Shelton, that gives him a fire. Hey, you blocked me, I want that ball again. Give me that ball again. You hear her calling for it, asking her setter to give her another shot.
Chaney trying to set it up from the back row. Instead, Reese Vanderbilt plays it back over. Nice get by Kinney. Too much on the velocity there for Bush.
Able to find her way around the block. Nice quick snap of that wrist. It's too much for Vanderbilt to handle.
I love it here. This is the fourth set, and both teams are just slugging away. That serve into the net by Shelton ties things up at 5.
Well, you knew this set was going to be a bloodbath because it's do or die for Vanderbilt, and they've been playing the best I've seen them play this season overall throughout this match. And Oklahoma has seemed to find a groove as well.
How about the
high hands?
And how about the patience there from Reese Vanderbilt? That set was a little bit high in the air, and she waited for it and ripped it off the block.
With that set being higher, she also knew that Oklahoma's block was probably going to be there waiting. So smart of her to hit off of the high hands of the block to get that tool and the point.
Reese Vanderbilt 1 kill away from a double-double tonight.
Nice swing. We see Gibson from that right side. When Bush is in the front row, she will swing from the right. And Shelton's in the front row, she'll swing from the left. So very diverse player, but there again, she just jumps so high, it's insane.
It made me laugh right away because
it's ridiculous.
There's just some points in this sport, you know as well as anyone, you can't stop.
No,
right? When it's set up
there's
perfectly.
There's going to be ones you're like, you tip your cap and you move on.
That was unblockable. Nobody could dig
nice
down.
Dig.
With the left hand, did it go down? It did. Wow.
Oh, some funny looks around the huddle. But hey, a point's a point.
Dunlap was doing her best impersonation of Bush with the left hand.
She was, yeah. Not the prettiest, but hey, that's okay. Point's a point.
Point is a point. And guess what? She can go back. She can tell her family and say, boy, when I made it 7-6 in the fourth set, I just smacked that thing back over.
Nice pass. Oh, tight.
There's the left hand there from Bush. We're just talking about it. Nice dig for the doors.
Back row, Shelton.
Shelton kind of missed. She was trying to get a little bit more on it there. Dunlap on a one-time,
nice
and Burgess was ready.
Oklahoma.
Reese Vanderbilt with authority.
Nice rally from both sides. Cheney takes a stab at the back row and then comes up big. Nice setup here. Anna Michon in perfect timing gets through that block. Look at this swing, high, just to the right.
And there is the double-double for number 9. 10 kills, 11 digs.
Played so well tonight so far.
Yeah, she has. Oklahoma gets back within one. Remember, Anders Nelson was telling you and I a couple days ago, he said she's so close.
Yeah.
So close to just a special breakout
yeah.
performance. And
they've really worked with her on her block too.
Yeah.
And with her, he said, making that outside hand stronger and pressing towards the center of the court.
That would have been an ace in tennis. That wasn't touched by anyone. Wow, how about that from Gibson? I don't blame a lot of the Vanderbilt players kind of looking at each other saying, who was supposed to go for that? It was served so hard. Gibson again, and that's what you get with the aggressive nature. Oklahoma, who beat LSU, they swept LSU.
Yeah, that was one of the games that Coach Nelson referenced to us yesterday on the call, saying, I watched that game and, you know, how impressive their offense was.
They just looked so good. And speaking of the offense, there is Bush once again, kill number 12.
We see Bush there swinging from the right side. She's been majority swinging from the left side, but she gets the kill from the right.
And that's, I know you noticed the same thing. That is why Aaron Mansfield is such a great coach and the rest of the staff, but he doesn't put them as an outside or right side opposite, or he puts them as a pin player, right? Because he wants them to be that utility role to be able to play anywhere.
Yeah, you really have to be a smart player to be able to hit from both pins and blocker, because if you're hitting from that right side, you're also blocking the outside hitter from the opposite team, who typically is one of your strongest offensive weapons.
Vanderbilt with a 10-9 lead. They're trying to force a fifth any way they can. There's Shelton. How about Kinney with the dig? Cheney and Barnes.
Nice net play by both teams.
Reese Anna Michon. She just doesn't get enough credit for what she does in the back row. And how about Cheney, number 17?
This all happens because of the dig from Anna Michon. As we take a look here, big swing by Shelton, but what a beautiful dig by Anna Michon. So smart by Cheney too to read the court and be able to throw that aggressive tip.
Serve is good. It's an ace for Kinney. That thing just died. And Aaron Mansfield has to take his first timeout of this fourth set. Hugs for Kinney over there in the huddle. Vanderbilt leads 12-9. They need 13 to force a fifth. Stick with us on the SEC Network. Alex Gould, Lindsay Rowley, and our entire SEC Network crew. What a thriller we've got here in Nashville.
It's been fun.
Yeah, Oklahoma, they dropped the first one, came back with some vengeance, won the second, won the third. Vanderbilt on top 12-9 here in the fourth, trying to force a fifth. And you take a look for Anders Nelson. They've done really well in the first set. It's been a tough go of it, though, after that. In sets 2, 3, and 4, they come out of the gate hot. They've done that a lot this year. Shelton gets the point out of the timeout to bring the Sooners within 2. What do you think Anders Nelson was talking about at the break there?
Don't let off the gas. Just because there's a lead doesn't mean that we don't need to fight and claw like we don't have a lead. Because I think he probably wasn't very thrilled last set when they did let off the gas for a period of time, and then, you know, was probably telling the team, if we would have been playing like we did at the end of the set, the whole set, we probably would have won it. So, but on the other side, you've got Oklahoma, who has gone through stretches where they've had, you know, what, 4, 5, 6 point runs. So another thing that they're having confidence from, that, hey, we can do this. We can overturn this and turn this one around. It's only 3 points.
And I think we were both curious coming into this fourth set. Were they going to line up Jackie more, right?
Yeah.
And was Barefoot going to use her more? And I think you're getting that answer here. That's her second kill of this fourth set, the 8th of the night for Moore, who's hitting 375. And there she is again, right on cue, is number 20.
Big swing. She heard you. She heard you talking. She said, keep talking, keep talking. Watch this. Overpass up, snaps that wrist down. Big swing.
Moore now with 9, hitting 412.
Timing a little off, but Shelton makes something of it.
Cheney is met by the triple block, and I think Shelton got the most of it.
I think you're right. Her timing was a little off with the attack. Let's take a look at this triple block. I think you're right. Shelton got most of it, but hey, the others close. Man, Shelton, when she gets up and her timing is right, I think her elbows are almost over the tape. She jumped so high.
And I'm sure there's so many people watching saying, just hit around it, just hit around it. But it's so hard to do.
I'm laughing for a reason.
Yeah, it's just so hard.
Just hit around the massive triple block that's
it's
in
a
front
wall.
of you.
It's a literal wall of red.
No, that's why, you know, you mix in shots, you look for holes, and you use it.
Oh, wow, that's, again.
Shelton is feeling it.
That's a cut shot again from Shelton.
And that's one of the tools that she has in her tool belt that not a lot of players have. And that is because of her vertical. It's because of her arm swing. It's because she can read a block, and if there's not a block there, she can make that sharp cut that's going to land 11, 12-foot line.
AVCA third-team All-American last year. What an honor for her. Oklahoma, they look a lot more comfortable the last couple of points.
Hey, it's up.
Kenny, I think, took one off the chin.
It's up.
And that's
I've
going to
been
be
there.
a double hit there. So Oklahoma back within 1. The pendulum, it just keeps on shifting and swinging back and forth. It's like a heavyweight title fight on a Friday night in the SEC.
Especially with it being do or die for Vanderbilt. And then Oklahoma saying, we don't want to go to a 5th set. Anything, I've heard every coach, every player always say, anything can happen in a 5th set.
A little bit too much there from Barnes. And again, you can see Aaron Mansfield saying, so what? Because that is what he wants her to do. He wants her to serve it as aggressively as she can with that topspin.
So Oklahoma currently sitting at 14 service errors. They had 18 in their last game against Texas A&M. Certainly not the number where a coach wants to be, but like you said, you're going to have those, but obviously limit them to not being such a factor. I think Moore may have blocked that off her head.
Yeah.
Well, not blocked, but it hit her head when it came down.
Listen, using every part of the body and tooling the block that time with Shelton. And, you know, the setters, both setters for Oklahoma are just going to keep going back to number 12 because she's so used to the SEC and closing out games. And listen, I know Oklahoma a couple years ago was in the Big 12.
But
yeah,
you read my mind because
games.
now with her going to the back row and how she's feeling it, she's on a roll. I wouldn't be surprised if they use her from the back row a lot more in these couple rotations coming up.
Nice dig there by Fraga. Oklahoma trying to tie things up at 15.
Big swing for Gibson.
Gibson now
Moore able to block it. Wow. Jackie Moore won this point. Goes up, blocks it. Gibson able to recover it and then gets up and snaps it down the line. What a stud. She's doing it all. Defense, offense, all the things.
You could hear her scream from here, by the way.
She was jacked up.
16-14 Vandy, the block, no good. It's off the block. Nice play by our grip guy, Batesy here. Makes a great play, saved my life. I know you would have saved my life too, of course.
Of course.
You're more athletic of the two of us.
Yeah.
I was ducking under the table once again. 16-15, the Sooners back within 1. What a treat here in Nashville. Here is Sydney Thompson. She's the only player from the state of Oklahoma. She's from Tulsa.
Love the hometown kids.
There's
that
the triple block
block
again. And that
Man,
is...
she had nowhere to go. This is one of those ones, like, you really, there's nowhere for her to go on that. You look down the line, Gibson's got that covered. You got Burgess, and then Bush comes all the way over. They close that up. Just so impressive and so difficult to play against.
And that's how Oklahoma wins these gritty matches late. And how about the punch from Sorensen?
What a swing from Sorensen. That's the biggest swing we've seen from her tonight. Down the line. Of course, helps being that lefty hitting from the right side. You see she's getting the love from her teammates as she comes off the court. Everybody jacked up for her. That was a big swing, big smile.
And now the punch on the other side, this time by Burgess. And listen, I'm a little surprised. I think you are too. That's only her 5th kill. She actually hasn't been set up a whole lot tonight. But listen, when she's gotten her chances, number 9 is delivered.
Yeah. She's definitely made up for it from a blocking standpoint as well, being so effective.
Yeah, she's coming off a 10 kill.
Yeah.
And hit 444 against Ole Miss. And had a team high 8 blocks. And she's got 7 blocks tonight. I don't think that ever got over the tape, and Oklahoma takes a 1-point lead. So Vandy, they've led for most of this 4th set. But Oklahoma trying to be the first to 25, win by 2.
Cheney brings it back, a little tight to the net. Anna Michon does something with it still. Impressive.
A little too much there from Barnes. Was there a touch? There was, though. So there was a touch by a blocker at the net.
Coach Nelson instantly runs to the court and says, did you touch that?
Yeah.
Wants to know immediately if he needs to challenge it.
And this is another one of those situations. Listen, first of all, he's 3 for 4 tonight, but this is another one of those situations where he has to challenge.
Yeah.
It's such a tight window.
Vanderbilt is challenging that there was no block touch.
Yeah, instantly Coach Nelson went sprinting towards the court to ask if she touched it. This will be interesting because I don't see a player lying to their coach. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But let's take a look. Yeah, that there doesn't look anywhere near her hands. I shouldn't say anywhere near, but to me that from that look, it looks pretty clear that there was no touch. I'm sure Anna Michon wishes she could jump that high and touch that, but
this is what I'm looking at, Lindsay. Here, I'm looking at the right hand middle finger of Anna Michon.
Okay.
I'm
see, but you see a little bit of space. You see
right.
the navy from the back.
Right.
That's in between. But I see. You're right.
I was just trying to see if that moved back at all.
From this angle, it looks a lot closer than the other angle.
Yeah.
You're right. The other angle looked like it cleared her hands easily, but you're right. That one, it's definitely a closer look from that angle.
And remember, reminding fans at home, reminding ourselves as well, the call on the court was that there was a touch. So once again,
let's see.
After review, the call is reversed. Vanderbilt gets the point and retains their challenge.
He's 3 for 4 now? Is that right?
He's 4 for 5.
4 for 5, yeah.
That would put you in the Hall of Fame in baseball or softball.
I wonder what the record is of how many wins in one match.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that out. I doubt he's close to a record, but I wonder what it is.
4 or 5 is pretty good, though. And
kidding.
Again, that was a crucial call overturned. So instead of 19-17, Oklahoma tied up at 18.
Nice serve, too, by Anna Michon.
Almost an ace there. How about the confidence there in Bush? Oh, and Anna Michon had the right idea.
Burgess would have been there, yeah.
Burgess was all alone on the island, was trying to hit just over her. Couldn't get it to go. Oklahoma, they take on Mizzou on Sunday. They would love to get back on the plane with their second SEC win in hand. They don't want to see a 5th set. Vanderbilt takes on Arkansas here at 1 o'clock Central, and there is Cheney. It is good, tied up at 19.
Oh, I think we might see a challenge. Coach Mansfield is talking. He thinks it might have been out with no, because there was a touch called by a down official, but the line judge said out. A little bit of confusion. Either way, it gets cleared up, and Coach Mansfield's going to keep that challenge card in his pocket.
So number 18 for Cheney. In crunch time, you go to number 12.
Yeah, you do.
In red, there
Big
is
swings.
Shelton. Boy, that was a great setup, too. A wonderful feed.
When she gets that ball that pulls her in just a little bit, and she gets all that momentum going forward on top of a big swing and the big arm she has, man, she's almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, and Aaron Mansfield was talking about Avea Mega, and he trusts her in crunch time. Listen, she's not even 18 years old yet. Played for the U19 Canadian national team for a reason, and there's the answer from Vanderbilt. Tied up at 20. Once again, it's Cheney.
Just one blocker up, and it was Shelton, and she's over there on the other side right now telling all, she goes, my bad, my bad, my bad. She gave Cheney quite the amount of room to swing at that ball.
Isabella Bareford trying to force a do-or-die fifth against her former head coach.
She's just trying to make
Shelton
up
again.
for it, yeah.
Shelton again. There's number 17 for Alexis Shelton.
You know, I'm not surprised we see her in do-or-die time here, swinging from the left. We'll see here, Gibson comes in to see if she stays swinging from the left or if she goes to the right. But right now, like you had mentioned, you want your best player, your biggest weapon, to get as many swings as possible. And the fact is, the most swings are gonna go to the left side.
Remember, Dakoa Barnes missed her last couple of serves. She is so aggressive with that topspin. See what she does here. Goes right back to it.
Nice pass, though.
Moore just got a piece. What a diving dig there from Gibson. And down the line
Throws
goes
that ball
Shelton.
down the line.
Shelton taking over here inside Memorial, forcing Anders Nelson to call timeout.
I was wondering what she was going to do with this ball because it ends up being really tight. And she's able to do something with it, which it's a testament to her athleticism and her knowing the court so well to throw it down that line deep.
Shelton coming into this set was hitting 175. She's now hitting 304 with 18 kills. Her percentage is about 800.
She's been on fire. She's been on fire in this set, and she is one of those hitters. I think all hitters are. Once you start to get on a roll, you get more comfortable. You're swinging harder. You've got that confidence to maybe throw something in that you wouldn't normally, or be aggressive when maybe you would lay off a little bit more in a different situation. And man, she is that player right now. She's hot.
And by the way, don't let that serious face fool you there. She's been smiling all night.
Oh my gosh, I know. When I saw this headshot, when I was like doing research and everything, and then I saw her play, I was like, that's not her. She's so smiley. She's so like with all of her teammates. She's silly. She's fun. She really seems like a cool person.
Yeah, you know, Aaron Mansfield was telling us. He said she's such a leader, and he said. She's our go-to player. She's our go-to hitter in crunch time, and that's what you're seeing right now. On the other side of things, what do you want to see from Vanderbilt here, down 22-20 in the fourth?
First touch. For me, it's all about that first touch, especially when you're going up against a difficult server. But, hey, give your setter an opportunity to run her offense. Do your job. It's one touch at a time.
Oklahoma needs 3. Then they head to Mizzou, 2-1 in the SEC. Vanderbilt trying to force a 5th.
That toss was a little off, but she still managed a great serve off it.
Sorensen, that was off the block and good. Vanderbilt back within 1.
Kennedy Patterson coming over to close that outside block was just a little bit off the net. Then there was that gap that Sorensen was able to take advantage of to get the kill.
Now we'll see how aggressive the other number 3 is on the other side of the net here in Cheney.
Goes with that float serve again. She's got a great float serve too, not just topspin.
Gibson had to wait and missed the back line. We are tied up at 22.
It seems that Cameron Cheney will go with this float serve when there's more on the line, so to say, in these big moments, but her float serve can be just as dangerous as her topspin.
Feels just as fast, too. It's unbelievable.
It's moving.
And that one misses deep. A big point for Oklahoma.
And now you've got a different dynamic because Shelton has now rotated to the back row. You have Bush now in the front.
Oklahoma has 10 aces tonight. Not going to get one here. Bareford, long route. Anna Michon, the block is good. Oh my! How about Camille Gibson in crunch time?
All her team rallying around her. Rallying around the youngster with the big block pressing over. Everybody, look at all those smiles.
That is the block of the night for Oklahoma.
There's a big hole in the block, so Camille Gibson, not that she did it on her own, but man, she got up there and really tried to make it difficult on Anna Michon and gets the block. So excited.
Listen, that is how you win these types of battles. I mean, that is how you win these types of matches. And that's the 11th block of the night for Oklahoma. They were outblocked in the first set 3-2. They have 9 blocks in the last 3 sets, and they're 1 point away. It's never easy. I don't care who you play, whether it's number 2 Texas, Kentucky, Texas A&M, or Vanderbilt, doesn't matter. On the road in the SEC, it's hard to win.
It is, yeah. And not to, I mean, it's a 2-point game. That's the way, if you're Vanderbilt, that from a mental standpoint, you have to think about it. You can't think, oh my gosh, this comes down to this is it. Everything has to be perfect. It has to be, hey, this is a 2-point game. We're good.
Shelton serving for the set.
And then for Vanderbilt, for Oklahoma, they want to finish this now. They do not want to go to a 5th set.
She's serving for the set and serving for the match. Oklahoma can win it right here. Bareford to Moore off the block, and Moore keeps the doors alive.
Anna Michon had that swing on that last rotation, so I was wondering if they were going to go to Jackie Moore to give her that opportunity to put it away, and they did.
The door is still open for the Doors as Aaron Mansfield calls his final timeout of this 4th set.
Ooh, man, this has been intense since the jump. Since set 1, it's, there was a little bit of a lull in set 3 when, Vanderbilt was down, but then they came back. This has been a battle, and really just a testament to both of these teams. When they're down, they battled back. Everything's been close. It's been a really impressive match to watch.
Once again, what a treat for us.
Yeah.
And everyone in this building right now, anybody watching at home, to get the chance to watch these women play. I mean, they have just battled all night long. Like this is the SEC tournament, like it's the NCAA tournament. I know we're not quite there yet. About a month and a half left to go, but this is something inside Memorial Gymnasium. All right, so Vanderbilt now, you got Witherspoon in. Remember, serving specialist, huge role for her, 24-23. We'll see who she tries to pick.
Such a difficult position, and you're a freshman.
Yeah.
Like that's so much pressure to be put on someone, but Coach Nelson explained to us how much confidence he has in her and how much confidence the team has in her. So I'm guessing this is who he would want back there in this situation.
Oklahoma wins this point. They win the set, they win the match. If Vanderbilt wins this point, of course, both teams got to win by 2 in this 4th.
I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm like both of these teams. They've played so well.
I've been nervous all night long. This is just great. Witherspoon misses the back line, and Oklahoma wins a gritty one on the road. Their 2nd SEC win of the season. They'll head on the plane to Mizzou with a crucial road victory.
What a performance by both of these teams. You got to tip your hat to both. Oklahoma, they come out on top, and they played so well. They had their lulls and were able to battle back, put themselves back in good positions, even when individuals were maybe not playing at their best. They were able to regroup, and a great example is Shelton. She had a little bit of a lull at one point in this match. She comes back and fire and finish this off, helps get her team this win.
Shelton was the star, 18 kills, as you mentioned, hit 304. Bush, 13 kills, hit 367. Then Cheney with 19, hit 341. Jackie Moore was great, 11 kills, hit 429. Partner, what a blast.
It was so fun, and I don't think Vanderbilt, I know they're going to be disappointed, but they have to take so many positives from this match. Both of these teams, wow, so impressed with both of them. It's been a lot of fun.
For Lindsay Rowley, I'm Alex Gould, and our producer Dean McCondish saying so long from Memorial Gymnasium, where the Sooners win it in 4. All games airing on ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. We'll be back here on Sunday at 1 Central Time when Vanderbilt takes on Arkansas. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night.